Well, it's that time again. We're going to be talking about Claude Code. This is the second of three meetings that I'm going to be hosting. This is hosted live to a group of entrepreneurs and realtors. If you're interested in learning more about the mastermind, please send me a direct message or reach out to me through this clip, and I will be happy to tell you all about that. We are taking a deeper dive into Claude Code. I think I say this every time I talk about Claude Code. It's not a great name for what it is. What do I mean by that? Claude Code is a very, very powerful tool. It's much more of a marketing tool than it is a tool for coding. Now, obviously, the coders will disagree with that, but I'm going to show you some cool stuff today, stuff that you could immediately take back to your work and put into use for making money, which is really the objective of all this. And you could see for yourself and decide for yourself, is it an appropriate name? Because I think it really does set a lot of people off. If you replace the word Claude Code with Claude Marketing, with anything else, you might be able to appreciate it just a little bit more. We're going to get to that in a second, but not before we let the mob in. Here we go. Okay, got a great group of people joining us today. Fantastic. Oh my goodness, we got Linda joining us today. We know great things are going to happen. And we got Deneen in California waking up just a little bit later than normal for us, which is okay. Greg, we got Greg going on here. George Chambers, nice to meet you, sir. Good to have you. Let's see who else. We got a bunch of note takers coming in here, a lot of bots, which is to be expected. It is an AI focused event, and we are going to make this fun and easy. Don't we like that? Maybe? Kind of, sort of? Okay. Yeah, thank you, Deneen. That's the enthusiasm that we're looking for. Greg, you can learn a lot from Deneen's enthusiasm. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Okay. So we're going to get right into it here. This is, again, a monthly event that we're really going nerdy on you and talking about things like Claude Code. This is the second of three meetings. We tend to bounce over a little bit, and I do like questions. I certainly want you guys to hop in and ask the questions as you have them. Indeed, it needs to have some type of interaction here. Otherwise, we kind of fall short of making this a greater meeting. So please, if you do like what's going on, jump in, ask questions, be a part of this. I'm just getting it set up now on my second computer, which I use to be able to do all of the coding. And let me just see. Sorry, guys. Open and audio, keep that off because we don't need extra noise. Okay, good. So we're getting everybody in here now. Fantastic. Okay, Laura Marquette, fantastic. Thomas Lipton, great. Aton's here, wonderful. We love all these folks. We got people from all over the country. Aton's in Europe. Got people in New York, got people in California, got people in New Hampshire. This is great. Great stuff. Okay. Global community. I absolutely love it. So let's talk about this. Who's using Claude Code right now? Either raise your hands or make a digitally raise of your hand. Okay. Deneen, very impressive. Greg, very impressive. George, yeah, okay. It's either yes or okay, good. We got that going on there. Why don't you three unmute yourselves just for a second? I promise it won't hurt. Tell me what you're doing or what you're trying to do with Claude Code so we could kind of get into this.
Oh, you know what? It's not, what's the difference between Claude and Claude Code?
Okay, great. What is the difference between Claude and Claude Code? Claude itself, both are products built by a company called Anthropic. And Claude is usually use it within a browser, although there's a desktop and an iPhone or smartphone tool as well. But Claude Code is a little bit different. Claude Code is also a product by Anthropic, and it's a different tool that originally you started working in the terminal within your computer to try and build apps or to make certain marketing tools. So perhaps you were just mistaking Claude with that.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Could very could very well be. Okay. Let's go on.
And
George, can I pick
yeah,
on you for a second?
yeah,
George,
the
tell
answer to
everyone who
you,
you are and where you are, sir.
I'm in the great state of Delaware,
Cool.
George Chambers,
Great.
and I use Claude Cowork to write my agreement of sales.
Okay, so you use called Cowork. Good. Close cousin of all this is still another product. Guys, we're going to get through all of this. That's really good. Greg, just tell everyone who you are and where you are and what product you're using.
So, Greg Coggins, I'm in Charleston, South Carolina. And I kind of use all the ones that have been mentioned thus far, but specifically as it relates to Claude Code, I've used it most recently to extract data from 252 different PDF files
Great.
and uh, load the specific data that I was looking for into a Google Sheet so that I could then match it with another Google Sheet. So it did all of that for me after I poached it a little bit.
Okay.
But it was really cool. It saved me a bunch of time, but it also used up all my credits.
And we're going to talk about that in a second. Right now, I'm going to be working on Fable 5. Again, guys, don't get too caught up in the word soup that I'm going to give you because I'm going to go through this fairly quickly. This is going to wind up on Bogen.ai, where episode 1 of this is located now. So you could go back and take a look at that as well. I encourage you people to call me. I'm kind of surprised when some of you have great enthusiasm in the meeting and you don't. I want to be a part of your solution here. So if you have a question, please do reach out to me. You can reach out to Eitan as well. He's my business partner. Don't be scared. He's in Lisbon, but he turns his phone off at night, so you could pretty much call him whenever you need him. As far as this, let me just go on with a couple of thoughts here. Claude Code, just to give a recap of the last meeting. I believe that Anthropic named it incorrectly. And for those of you who are really into development, feel free to throw a cow at me. I think it's much more of a marketing tool. And I think the word code itself scares the hell out of mere mortals like realtors and life insurance and any of us who are the backbone of America working our asses off to make a sale. I think that it really is something that gets everyone kind of freaked out, and it really doesn't have to. What I'm going to go through today is going to, in some cases, be somewhat confusing. Thank you, Eitan, for putting the workbook up in the chat. I encourage all of you to download that workbook. At the end of this, I gave this in yesterday's meeting as well. I'm going to give you a gamified program that I created with Claude Code on how to learn Claude Code. And it's a gamified little object there. There's many, many different ways that we learn. I like going to a lecture. I like reading. I like playing games. I like getting my hands dirty. And you know what? For me, that really works. In any type of coding or computer environment, you need to be prepared to break shit and fix it. That's what we're really trying to do here. And we're trying to do it in what we call, and these is another keyword you're going to get, a sandbox environment. Anybody want to have a guess what sandbox means? Okay, sandbox is exact. Go ahead, Greg.
It's a playground.
Playground. Well, it's a safe environment. You imagine a kid in a sandbox. You don't think that there's going to be horrible, bad things. You don't think a truck's going to drive over the kid. You think that the sandbox is a safe kind of place. That's where we try and operate when we make code, when we do stuff. So you'll be hearing this for any of you who are going to really, again, nerd out and do this stuff with me or do the stuff afterward. These are keywords that you're going to hear about quite a bit. You're also going to hear about GitHub. That is going to be discussed in the third meeting, which we're going to have sometime in mid-July. Eitan, we didn't pick a date yet, right? For the July Claude Code. I don't think we did.
No, but it should be the third week of next month.
Should be something like that. We'll be getting that out to you real soon, and that's also going to be up on the website. And again, you could always watch the archive videos to learn this stuff. We will also give you other videos that are out there on YouTube. There's no excuse not to learn anymore, guys. If you want to really learn something, there's really step-by-step ways that you could pick it up. Never before in human history have we had such a great opportunity to learn anything that you have passion about. So I say all this that if you're by being in this meeting, you are at the 0.0001% of realtors that are out there, because quite simply nobody is doing this just yet. I say just yet, I say it very carefully, but let's take a look at what I'm talking about here. And I'm on my other computer here, so just give me a second. That's why I'm not looking at you. Okay, so we're going to open up and we're going to take a look at well, we're going to do a couple things. First, we're going to open up a terminal. Again, don't get freaked out because you're used to seeing This is the thing that tech support does when they come over, right? When you get tech support up for, Al from tech support or Bob, it's usually Al or Bob. I think Al and Bob exist all over the world. They're both tech support guys. Like me, they're a little pudgy. They usually have a bit of a donut on their shoulder and they know everything there is to know about computers. Okay, so usually they're the ones that are working in this terminal. I made this nice and large for you to see. On the last video, we showed and explained how to load Claude Code into this. I will be showing that again at the end, and it's on the video, but for the purpose of time, I want to just show you this. This is the back end of the computer. Again, Deneen, don't weird out on me here. I need you. I need you to believe. I need all of you to believe you could do this. And I'm going to enter various commands, and in this case, this is the command to invoke Claude Code. Great. We are now in Claude Code. Claude Code has a variety um, of versions that are out there or models. The latest one, which was released 2 days ago, is called Fable 5. Now, why do I mention this? Actually, I'm going to look at all of you for a second. I mentioned Fable 5 for a very good reason. There's been news out there that Claude or Anthropic built a tool that is so advanced it could hack anything. That is so advanced that everyone was scared that this is going to hack and ruin the world and steal all your money from the bank and do all kinds of fucked up stuff. So what we have here is Fable 5 is that name of that version was Mystique. I think it was Mystique. Mistiff? Aton, help me out. It was Mystique. The name of the advanced version. They keep changing these names here. Anyone?
I have no idea, man.
Okay. Well, this is the dumbed down version of it. And something very interesting that Claude did for security. Anything that a hacker or a bad actor brings up, I'm saying this because you're probably interested. If you bring up how to build a nuclear weapon, it will stop you. If you bring up anything biological or something that they know is fairly dangerous, it will stop you and it will drop you down to a weaker level. Please don't do this. But I'm just telling you the steps that Anthropic went through. They released this to 150 different organizations that they know have this high-end security group of people, and they deliberately gave it to places like Chase and Citibank and Dow Chemical and different people where they pay these guys a lot of money to collaborate with them and to find out where the vulnerabilities are. And at this point, they were very comfortable giving us the dumbed down version of this. Why do I mention that? In other words, at this moment, today, it could change tomorrow, we are working on the most powerful AI that's out there. And it could do some really cool stuff. So let's get right into the cool stuff here, because I know you guys want the sizzle, and I'm going to lose you in a minute if I don't give it to you. Okay, so we got Fable 5. One of the things that I did before anything else, we saw that we actually got in. I'm going to explain again how to add this to your computer. Again, we'll explain that at the end, and it's also in the archive of the last video. I created and I think I did this last time, but we'll do it again with Fable 5. I created an Entrepreneur ROI Calculator using HTML and CSS and vanilla JavaScript in one index HTML file. Word soup, don't freak out. I didn't write that, Claude Code did. Okay, so again, I know for the new people to all of this, you're saying, what the hell does all that mean? I simply went into ChatGPT or Claude or any AI, and I explained in plain English, make a prompt for Claude Code to actually create an app for me. And I explained the attributes of what I wanted. I want you guys to start thinking backwards. What is the outcome that you really want? And what were the steps that you took to actually have that outcome? If I could convince you to do that before the end of this meeting, everything else you do is going to be great. Angela, stick with me. It's not, don't worry about it, Angela. It's above everyone's head right now. Just relax. We're going to be okay here. Okay. So she's probably surprised I actually read all this stuff here. Here we go. So I create a single page app called Entrepreneur ROI Calculator. Let's go on. The requirements: clean, modern design, gradient backgrounds, purple to blue. You know what? I did purple to blue last time. Let's do somebody give me a color. What color do you like? You could type it in there or tell me. Yellow. Great. Thank you. Yellow to blue, yellow to what? Come on, Angela. Angela, you're controlling this here. Yellow to blue. Great. Mazel tov. We have this. Okay. So now, centered card layout, rounded corners, input fields. We want initial investment, monthly revenue, monthly cost. This should start feeling a little familiar to all of you. We're trying to do a calculation. Again, don't let it freak you out. We're going to have a calculate ROI button on click display, total profit, ROA percentage. ROI, of course, is return on investment. Just letting all of you know. Payback period in certain number of months. So I put this together again. I made a request for this prompt and I put it into an AI to actually make it in a format that makes sense to Claude Code. There's a word for this, guys. It's called AI or LLM stacking. You're using one AI to get an answer that's going to go to another AI. And here I'm going to put this command right in here. Again, plain English. It truncates it here until I hit enter. And now you see all the stuff that it was typing. And right now, that's it. It should take, somebody set a timer. Who's got a timer on them? Deneen. Deneen's got a timer. Great. Hit timer and we'll see how long this actually takes. This thing's going to develop it. And from there, I'm going to have something that I'm going to be able to share with all of you. And there's going to be bugs. Lo and behold, it's not going to be fixed the very, very first time you necessarily do it. You need to go through the process of being able to kind of embrace it, build it, break it, fix it. Build it, break it, fix it. It's not that tough. You just have to think it through. Sometimes, you get it right on just the first prompt, and that would be great. But right now, it's going to be developing. Let's just watch it cook here. So great. So right now, we can see what's going on. To explain everything, they usually put a funny word like metamorphosizing. They also have, for security reasons, do you want to create index.html? Angela, don't freak out. You're just going to say yes. Okay? Or as Eitan likes to say, just push 2. We're just going to say yes because we know. Now, why are they saying that? What you're going to do is read if there was a prompt that came from the general public, and here's the app, and it's the colors that Angela suggested. We got the yellow to the blue, entrepreneurial ROI calculator that created it very quickly. Deneen, do you have a timer on that? Can you unmute yourself and tell us?
Yeah, just right under a minute.
Okay. So, she started a few seconds late. So it was a little bit more than a minute, let's say. And let's see if the thing works. Again, I told you it could break. So I've got now a client that just invested $650,000. This is a real scenario. Actually, it's not because there's a month of revenue. Yikes. Let me change that a second. Now I'll just do theoretical. We have someone that invested $1 million. And the monthly revenue they're going to generate, somebody give me a dollar amount that they're going to generate every month.
10,000.
60,000.
10, I think Deneen's a little more realistic there, Eitan, but thank you. And what's going to be your monthly cost, Deneen,
Oh gosh.
on a rental?
Rental. I don't know. Let's see, 500.
Okay, well, you got
Insurance.
insurance, other properties. I'd say it's a little higher than that.
Okay, 1,000. I don't know.
Okay, let's you know what? Let's make it a weird number. Let's make it 3,700, 3,750. Okay, I don't
Mhm.
know. We can make it anything, and let's do 24-month period, and let's see if this thing works. Payback 160 months falls outside of your 24-month period. It's actually showing that you've taken a loss because the price was not right. But it goes through and gives all the stuff. What if I made it 10 million? And it's still showing I'm not following this. Okay.
No, make it 500,000.
Okay, let's see what's going on here. Like I said, you got to break shit and fix it. So the initial investment. Oh, so it's the time period of when you're actually going to be paid off. Let's, instead of saying months, let's say 360 months. So that was the whole thing. I was thinking about it incorrectly. So it's going through, where's break even? Break even was month 75. So it shows you where the break even was on that. Again, I just threw this together fairly quickly. We have no kind of branding and um, we have a very, very limited functionality, but still, I hope what you get from this is just how powerful that really was. That we took a
That's
very, very short period of time. Um, we took something very, very in a short period of time, and we were able to feed into it and come up with a solution. Let me show you another way into Claude Code. And Angela, this might make you a little bit happier. Let me just pull this back up on the screen because you don't have to nerd out completely with me. If we go into Claude itself, one of the things that you're going to see here is code. Let's make that bigger. Everyone see that? Okay. So you could code right within your browser. Look at that. So now you're able to actually do this right within here. Ed, if you were doing that, why did you bother showing us the terminal? The answer is that it's a lot slower. I think it ends up costing more money. Again, I could be wrong. I think that if anyone's with Anthropic, feel free to throw a cow at me. Eitan's waving hi or goodbye, or Eitan has a feedback. Go ahead.
Well, in the terminal, it has access to your operating system and to your local files. And everything you do on the terminal is not online, is local. So it's
Okay.
much more secured.
Okay. Eitan came up with a better answer, and Greg gave you a thumbs up. If Greg gave you a thumbs up, the answer must be right. Okay. But let's go ahead and just for the sake of argument here, go put that exact same prompt back into this and see what it comes up with. Sorry, guys. I just have too much stuff on my screen. I
And
gotta
while
put,
you're fumbling around with that, Edmund, let me ask a question.
go ahead.
What would happen if you put this exact same prompt directly into Claude instead of Claude Code?
Good question. If you put this prompt directly into Claude, you'd likely get an output as well, but you're again going to be getting something that's a little bit different. It's not going to be as powerful. It's not going to be as robust. It is likely to look different, and you're not going to be able to save it and manipulate it the same way as if it was done in Claude Code. If you are actually doing it in Claude Code is the baker. It is where you're putting all this stuff together. It's an actual person making it. Let's imagine it that way. GitHub, again, don't get confused by all this. GitHub is the repository. So GitHub is owned by Microsoft. We have instructions in the last video on how to actually get this stuff up to GitHub. I've connected these two to be able to bake this here and then to put it into GitHub so you've got an actual repository for that code. Does that make sense, Greg? You're waving hi or you have, go ahead.
Oh, I have a question. So, when you're working in the terminal, does your code still go to GitHub,
When you're working
or
in the
does it go to
terminal,
local?
so that's a good question. The answer is yes if you send it to GitHub. If you have a connection to GitHub,
Well,
again,
you have to push and commit
that's
to
what I
send
just
it to
said.
GitHub.
Yeah. So Aton is busy pushing and committing here. Let's take a look. Done, pushed. Okay. Can you run it on my screen, please?
Well, that's loading. Can I ask, is GitHub GETHUB?
GIT, Git,
GIT. Okay,
like giddy up.
right.
Okay, so it's still rendering this thing right here. Let me show you something else that I actually built with GitHub, with Claude Code. Aton and I oftentimes talk about, what's going on in the market intelligence in our individual communities. Using Claude Code, I created, most of you know, I live and farm a country club called St. Andrews, beautiful, 728 of the most fabulous homes here. And I created a 20-year market intelligence. What did I do? I went to the MLS. I got the 750 closed transactions between 2007 and 2026. And I put this with a prompt into Claude Code. And what did it create here? It actually gave me um, a a listing, of what actually sold more than once. So here, 19 homes over that time, anything under $1 million sold 19 times, and was, a pretty high number of properties. Now that makes sense. Anything under $1 million was probably bought by a developer or a speculator or somebody that wanted to flip the home. And the average holding time was again among the lowest, 3.4 years. And you can see the appreciation of those properties was 66%. Once again, makes sense. These people want to have some type of return. In some cases, they bought and they lost. Some people that are not doing it on spec just decided not to stay. And then there's been some other people that have bought some of the bigger homes and their holding time was a little bit longer. Again, it depends upon the time horizon. But you could see the ones that won the most were really the ones that bought the $5 million plus homes. I'm the poorest guy in the richest neighborhood, by the way, guys. I want everyone to know that. It's a great place to be if you're a realtor, with homes that are in the multi-million dollar range. I highly suggest it if you're able to get there. And then it gave a whole report. Now I'm putting this together as a newsletter for the people who live here at St. Andrews Country Club. It wasn't terribly hard to find, the information. This took just a minimal amount of research online, as well as getting the information from the MLS. But what it created was something very special. At least to me, this worked really, really well. Here's something else that I created. A lot of you will say, wait a minute, how do you keep up with all these different tools? Good question. Glad you asked. We actually created a portal here, or I should say I created a portal where I've taken every single thing that I've created and I put it together. Well, not every single thing, but most things. So here we created this for the team. This is our investment calculator. So we've got a client right now who wants to get at least a 6% cash on cash return. I've given this to my team for internal use where we can now say, they're making once again, $1 million purchase. Their target is a 6% return. Their rent is $8,000. Let's give him the return that he wants and make it $9,000. Let's make it $950 or $9,500, $9,200. Yeah. Okay. So there we got it now. A 6% return from this. It's considering a 5% vacancy. There's no other income that comes out of this. Here's the property taxes, roughly 1.9% of the purchase price. No insurance here, so that's going to change everything. They want it as a percentage of the property value. So I'm going to go a little bit less now. If I go 09, actually, let's see, 9. Yeah. So we didn't, we're doing close to 1% of the property value. Again, CapEx reserve, CapEx is capital expenditures, all the stuff. If there's an HOA, it's going to go downward, right? We have $500 a month up. We're off our investment here. So I made this just to go down and dirty with the team so they could just very quickly figure it out. And it will create a buyer summary for us that we could ultimately print up and share with the client. Pretty cool stuff. But again, I began with the end in mind. Now, as I'm speaking, I want one of you, hopefully many of you, to think about something that you'd like to create, and we'll create it right here. It's going to be fun. Okay? Little fun? Kind of, sort of? Okay. Let's go on. So keep thinking about stuff and jump in as you want. I'm going to show you just a couple of other things that were built by this. Again, begin with the end in mind. Here, this was something that was kind of fun. Turn Claude into your personal travel agent who likes to travel. So you could actually get the setup. And here I've got a prompt for you. You are my personal travel agent. You research, plan, price shop, blah, 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 all the stuff. And you're expected to do a little bit of work here, your home airport. Let's say it was Aton in Fort Lauderdale or Miami International, or wherever you might want to be. Maybe it's Deneen and it's LAX. So you're going to put your preferred airline. You're going to put your loyalty number. You're going to put all this information in here, and you're going to talk specifically. Most of you like morning flights, or maybe you like night flights, or maybe you don't ever want to make a connection. Whatever it is, all this information goes into this tool. And I will show you quickly what that looks like. Before I do, there's one other thing I'm showing you, the Claude desktop version. Again, Just imagine the information is all ending up the same place. I'm just showing you the different ways of accessing it here. And I expect you to go back to this video and watch it for the parts that you're confused with. Okay? Claude has a desktop version. And I'm going to open it up here. And we've got Claude Cowork. We're going to do a special meeting on Claude Cowork pretty soon. Just know right now, if you get the app and you're paying the $20 a month for this, you have it already. And you might not even know it. You just need to download it. I'm going to look into some of the projects, and I created a special project called, you guessed it, Travel Agent. And in that, we could see here, these were the instructions that I got. Home airports, West Palm Beach is the default. Whenever nonstop exists, a reasonable price and time. Fort Lauderdale is the fallback. So we have all this different stuff in here. Always tell me when you're routing me through Fort Lauderdale instead of PPI and why. My preferred airline is JetBlue, although that's changing quickly. Here's my Mosaic number. And I gave all these different things. Again, it takes a little bit of time, but now let me do something here. I might say, find a flight for me in mid-July from South Florida to Los Angeles. I want it to be direct, and I need an aisle seat, and come up with whatever options I have, both with my preferred and non, along with price ranges. Thank you. And now this guy's going to go to town and actually do the search. We're going to let that bake for a little bit, kind of like Chef Tell. We're going to take a look at a couple of other things while that's baking. Where's this thing? Nope, nope, nope. Where is it?
I just have to say how impressed I am.
Oh,
I'm just
well,
like,
thank you.
oh my gosh,
Thank
this
you.
is amazing.
Thank you. Oh, here's something that was kind of cool. Now, again, it was my wife that came up with this idea. In fact, she was driving me up the fucking wall. If you want to know the truth, my wife was in the kitchen. She loves to bake. She loves to take these things that she's learned about, and she loves to get it from Instagram. And she was listening to Instagram over and over and okay, Deneen does that. Okay, Deneen, guess what? I'm going to cure that today, right for you right now. And I just said to the AI, this thing's driving me crazy. Before I get a divorce, can you please help me fix this? And I decided my wife's nickname is Skiwi. So I named it the Skiwi Recipe Extractor. And if we go into Instagram and we take a look at, Deneen, give me a dish that you'd like to bake.
Chocolate cake.
Chocolate cake. Okay, great. How to bake a chocolate cake. So let's see what stuff comes up here. Again, we're going to take any Instagram account. And Matilda's chocolate cake looks pretty good to me. So let's just take a look at this. Great. I'm going to take the URL from that. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go back to, where was I? I'm going to go back to that app. There's too many things open on my screen. Here we go. I'm going to put that in. And now I'm going to click extract recipe. And it takes 20 to 60 seconds. And let's see what actually comes up from that. So once again, necessity is the mother of invention. And I want you to start to realize that this is fun. This is something that you could really go out and do great stuff with. And when you start to make a recipe thing for your wife, or you start to do something where I have a prompt every morning that delivers the exact news that I want to read, you start to open up the possibility for how this would apply to a client. Again, the mechanics you're going to learn. The mechanics you're going to get out of our instruction book and the rest of this video. But you know, what I want you to do is to try and expand your mind and think about it. Okay, so here's Matilda's triple chocolate cake. I'm not too nuts about the picture that they put up. Let's see, yields 12 servings, an hour and 30 minutes. They're including cooling, cooking 35 minutes, prep 30 minutes. So it's giving the whole thing, cuisine American. About this recipe, a deeply indulgent 3-layer chocolate cake inspired by iconic Matilda movie scene. Okay, I guess that was did anyone see Matilda? Was there a chocolate scene? Something, okay. And here they give you the equipment that you need. They've got the ingredients that you need. They got some methods, okay, preheat the oven to 350 degrees. And they've got all this along with some somewhat step-by-step photos. Again, come see, come saw, not so bad. 720 calories. Please don't tell my diet doctor. And it gives all sorts of other stuff here. You can now either save it as an image or you could print it. And that all came from that thing.
Wow.
Sort of. George is
That's
somewhat impressed or no?
amazing.
George looks skeptical. He doesn't give a shit about cake. So I want
You're
you guys.
right, Ed.
I want you guys to think through. Great. Let's do something for your clients. Let's do something. I'll show you one other thing that I've actually done. And I didn't coin this phrase. It's called rip off and duplicate. I want you to rip this off and duplicate it and try it on your own within Claude Code. You'll be able to do this. Let me just get back here. Not there, not there, not there. Ay, ay, ay. Where the hell is this thing? Oh, there we go. Okay, so there was one other thing that I actually made. I make a lot of my business proposals with this. Um, oh, I'll give you this as well. I'll give you something in a minute. I told you I made a gamified version of this as well, so we'll be able to get that out to you. I made a series of business cards. We'll go on. Here, I'm going to throw this out to all of you right now. This is a gamified version of how to Claude Code. So let me put this out in the chat. And I want to show you how this applies, George, to your clients here. You create something that the client actually wants, or you're out on social media and there's something that you know your people in your community may want. Over here, it's absolutely free, but there's one little condition here. You need to give me your name, you need to give me your email address, you need to give me your brokerage, and it's optional to tell me where you are. So I'll fill out all of that. And then boom, I want to subscribe. And now, boom, my first step, we get little prizes here to take a look at it. And we've got all these little gamified courses here. And we could take a look. Claude Code is not a chatbot, it's an operating system, and it explains the whole thing to us. It explains how to get you set up. And then here, there's an 18-second class here, test. What's the single biggest reason Claude Code feels different from ChatGPT? And, I know the answer to it. You're able to actually do that. Again, a gamified kind of way of learning. Deneen, do you like that?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
So good. So Deneen, because Deneen likes it, I'm going to share it with all of you right now.
So if it lives on your machine, it has access to everything in your machine?
It can. It depends upon how it's accessed. Just
Okay.
slow down. Try the game. I'm trying to make this fun because the answer is that it's highly technical if you really think too much about it. And if you just take your time to do this stuff and try 15 minutes a day, that's it. Try and learn, and what you're going to find. Eitan, is that, I mean, that's you think that's solid, or how would you change that?
Well, it only has access to one directory within your hard drive. So you give it access to its own directory, and whatever is in that directory it controls. However, if you wanted to access other parts of your hard drive, you just give it the authorization. And every step of the way, it asks you for permissions, and you can accept them or deny them.
See? Good
Okay.
stuff. Go ahead,
That's what I
Denise.
was going to say.
Um,
Along the way, Janine, it will ask you, it will say, I need to access this. Do you approve or not? So it's got some safety checks and balances.
okay.
Yeah. We've made things for various people in the mastermind. I don't know if Lisa Murray's here, but we created a mortgage calculator just for Lisa Murray.
Uh-huh.
So it's got her little brand up here and it's got the stuff and it's on my GitHub. So you see Ed Bogen, but if she wanted us to add it to her website, we could easily do that. Um, and now you could actually take a look at, actually calculating the expenses. You bought a home for uh, $850,000. You put $170,000 down. Here's your interest rate. Here's the loan terms. Here's the annual property tax, blah, 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 all this stuff. And it calculated all of this for you. And you could either print it, save it as a PDF. Once again, I'm calling this software as a marketing tool. So there's one other thing that I could show you. Right now, we have a hedge fund that has been consistently giving us business. We've done 4 rentals for their executives that have moved here. And this month, we're doing 2 sales, one for $2.1 million, another one for $4.5 million. Yeah, not happy. I
Yeah.
like money. I know all of you do too. It's a great thing. It's like I said, making money is one of my 3 favorite things. And I want that to be one of your favorite things as well. If you, in fact, take a look at this. Let me just see where this
So
guy
what are the
is.
2 others, Ed?
Occasional sex and chocolate cake, not in that order. I love chocolate cake. Uh, for those of you who think it's going too blue, let me know. You could just kick me, but that's fine. Let me just see here. Um, is it in here? No, it's not in here. Give me one more
I can
second.
attest that you like making money more than chocolate cake.
Yeah, that's pretty much everything. I'm going to pull up one other thing for you guys, and then we're going to take more questions, and we're going to show you a couple of other things here, and we're going to go into slash commands and all that fun stuff. But I think it's really important that you get the fact that this is fun, that you get the fact that this is something um, that if you just try it and you start to envision where you could be and what you could do for a particular client, I'm now calling this software as a marketing tool. And I'm sorry it wasn't up. I'm pulling this up right now, and I'm going to share this with you in a second. And feel free to ask questions while we're doing this.
Can I join your team?
Love to have you. Come on in. Come on in. Move to Boca. The water's great. Okay, here we go. Okay, great. I'm going to share this with all of you right now. And I wanted to, again, more importantly, I want you to know the thinking that goes behind developing a type of app and why this is so important to all of you. I haven't presented this to this company yet. I hope to fairly soon. They keep introducing people to us. I built them this web portal. Again, it needs to be migrated to their site, and it's not completely ready for prime time yet, but I will share it with you right now. As you can see, there's a password. And the password worked because it blocked me. Okay. Now it brings you into the site. This company, Kane Anderson, is huge, and they keep sending us leads. And I said, great, can we make them an employee benefit? Something that would be a relocation tool that people could utilize to learn about various costs. Like, for example, I created cost tools. Here is the monthly cost of actual ownership. Okay, well, that's kind of nice. We can see depending upon what they buy. Here's something that's even better, an interstate moving cost estimator. And I had it actually go out and do a study. Let's say you're moving a very large home, 5 bedrooms, and you're moving from, let's say, California, which is 3,000 miles. And either yes, they pack for me, or no, I pack. It gives you the range of pricing. Make it a little bit bigger here. And you can see that it actually calculates all of this stuff for us. It shows the Florida tax advantage. Again, I'm going to play that up just like you're going to play up all the assets in your area. But it's going to give you a variety of things, a checklist of how to move, get your moving quotes, neighborhoods and housing. So the various neighborhoods and available homes. Obviously, we have a need to do that. We have various concierge medicine, school consultants, college consultants. And I'm meeting with the team next week to talk about what could be added to this that would make it even more valuable. We've got a concierge section for them. If somebody wanted to take a look at schools in Broward County, it leads you now outside of the website to what I hope will be, yeah, the Broward County uh, school portal. And so it's got all this great little stuff, as well as a checklist and timeline. Again, I'm a nerd. That's what I created over a weekend. I think it's a thing of value. And I think if the client gets this now, he's already been introducing people to me. We're going to control it. He's going to do nothing. He's not going to pay. He's going to pay $0 for that. $0. But what we're doing is increasing our value as because no other realtors are doing this. Can you name one? You can't. So think this through and call me afterward. If you say to yourself, wait a minute, there's something that I'm in a boating community. I don't know, that everyone has a boat and we need to have something about the annual checklist of what to do to take care of a boat or figuring a price. Again, I'm not a boat person. Maybe you're an equestrian. I have somebody, I don't think she's here now, but she's a realtor that focuses on equestrian properties. Great lady, great stuff. I don't know about barns and stables and shit people know this stuff. I'm a New Yorker. I don't know about any of this. So we got this, you know, if you could imagine it, you could create it. My hope is that some of you have actually thought of something that you'd like me to create for you now, because that's usually kind of a fun thing. It doesn't have to be terribly complex. Let's talk about what we looked at. My wife's recipe maker. We took a look at the cost of moving calculator. We talked about a mortgage calculator. We talked about an investment tool that was actually made. You could probably think of several other things. If there's anything that pops up, party planning, I don't know. You could do this. I'd like to create a custom DTI calculator I could share. DTI, debt to income? Is that what debt to income, Angela? Angela's quiet. Yes. Okay. So you want to create a custom debt to income calculator that you could share. Great. You know what? Do me a favor, Angela. Before I do that, type out exactly what you want. Take just a minute right now. Type it all out, put it in here, and I'm going to put your prompt into Claude Code. And I'm going to do that. And we'll make changes together. We'll talk about things like color. We'll talk about things like font size. We could talk about anything that you want, and you could actually create this. One other thing that I oftentimes do, I have a newsletter. I need to get it out today. I have the AI do the complete research about what's going on in South Florida. Let me just give you one other thing here. Everything takes extra long when you are already online, but let me give you something to see. Okay, so Knight Frank spends a lot of money on their annual wealth report. And if you want to see it, just Google Knight Frank's annual wealth report. It's actually very, very interesting. Um, so once again, we could borrow from that research. You need to kind of disclose it. And again, I tell you to look in at your state rules. But I haven't researched the wealth report from them. I had it research wealth and how it migrates, where it's happening with wealth. I had a whole big conversation with AI. It took me a couple of hours, but it came up with some great research. Then, of course, I went in and I wanted to create the perfect thing. Look at me, I'm getting younger and thinner every day. Hello, my name is Ed. I'm 35. Um, but still with me, the glasses are the brand. It's important that that in every image I show up with glasses, and I do. Um, but it's supposed to show this. Now here, Chicago, Manhattan, London, Los Angeles. Everything, of course, leads to Palm Beach. Why? Well, it's my report, so why the hell wouldn't it? Um, and we created the perfect image using AI, but more importantly, using Claude Code, we not only researched, but we synthesized it to be able to create this. Why the world's wealth is sorting itself and where St. Andrews fits in the map being redrawn. Okay. Talk about something that's really specific to my community. The global ultra high net worth population reached 713,626 people in 2026, up from 551,435 in 2021. Roughly 89 new $30 million plus households created every day for 5 consecutive years. Pretty cool, right? Immediately it grabs you, it gets you right in there. And why this is important, let me just show you the reporting that went out on this. Again, the report was actually generated using Claude Code. And let's take a look. We had 41 clicks on this. And I could see exactly who and when they clicked. Larry Glassman, neighbor. Louis Schneider, neighbor. Pamela Rubin, I think might be a realtor, but we'll see. Alice Friedman, neighbor. Rafi, neighbor. All these other people, neighbor. Jonathan Hells, very big neighbor. Eitan, my partner. Eric Press, he's on the board of my club. So I'm seeing all these people who actually clicked and when. Now, what do I do with that? I'm lucky that I live in a gated community and I walk through and people see me, but now I'm actually engaged in conversation with these very people. If you were expecting much more technicalities, this is going to take a little bit of time on your part to be able to watch the tools and utilize them. I'm just trying to get you to think dynamically. If you could think through exactly how you want and what you think you could achieve, you could do almost anything. And you could deliver content in a way that people will engage in and continue to want to do business with you. And you've got probably a couple of years until this actually works. But Ed, I've been left behind. This is the last little slide I'll show you here. Ed, I've been left behind. I'm going to pull up my screen in a moment. It's too late for me. Everyone else has done this and not me. Okay, well, let me make you feel just a little bit better by showing you this slide. Again, I ripped it off and I duplicated it. You think you're late to AI? Here's the data. Each one of these dots represents 3.2 million people on the planet Earth. There's 2,500 dots. All these people are the ones that never touched AI. In the light blue is all the people that have tried AI but are likely using just the free accounts or barely using it. The white are the people who pay at least $20 a month. And the red, this little red one right here, that is the power users. Those are the people that pay more than $100 a month to use AI. So guess what? You're not late. You're not even early. You're before everyone. I just am an early adopter and I got way ahead of a lot of people. You are not late, but you must embrace this because it is coming for you. It is coming for you. There's going to be, when a guy like me could take my taxes, put it through Claude Code, and get everything done and laid out for my accountant, Frank. With Frank, I would never leave Frank. I adore Frank. He's a great guy. I've been with him 17 years. Great accountant. I highly suggest him. But he called me up and said, Ed, are you cheating on me? I'm like, no, Frank, I would never cheat on you. You're my accountant. You're the only accountant. You're fabulous. Okay? He really genuinely thought that we were, I basically gave him my completed tax forms, which was all done through AI. Frank charges me $6,000 a year. I run 3 different businesses through the guy, and I've run all sorts of other stuff. And his company's, in my opinion, has become outrageously expensive. Now the job's gotten easier. I'm not the kind of guy to part ways or look for a bargain or do anything. Frank's Frank. He's staying with me. He's almost 70. I hope he works for another 10 years. He won't. But he's not. But anyone else, if you know, that is getting into accounting, that is getting into law, that is getting into journalism, like my daughter wants to be a journalist, my youngest. We've got a problem. Being a realtor, you've got a problem. And here's the thing. I can't guarantee that learning any of this stuff is going to make you that much more impenetrable from all of this, but it's going to be a hell of a lot better than taking this blind. It's going to be a hell of a lot better than just expecting the whole world to change for you. This is coming whether you like it or not. Don't blame me. It wasn't me. I didn't do that. This is something else. Okay, let's see what we have here. We've got Angela put this debt to income calculator. Angela, I'm so happy you did this for me. Thank you. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go back into the screen. I just copied what Angela did, and I'm going to go back into, where's my terminal? Great. So I'm going to create a new shell. I'll show you guys this one more time. What pops up is this. I go Command plus 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 to make it big enough for you guys to see. I type in the word Claude. Takes a second. And now we're in. Great. Now I just took Angela's prompt. Again, Angela, you could answer this. Have we ever talked about this before, Angela? Okay, this is
No,
right
we
there on our.
haven't.
No, we haven't. Okay, so great. Now we're putting it to work. So we'll see exactly what it was. Angela was extremely
You
specific.
sound like that magician in Vegas.
We and now right here on my stage. Um, Okay, but Angela really, she nerded out on me here. I love it. So she did the color codes, hashtag 1F3A. You don't have to be as nerdy as that, but I am, and I love that. Angela, you're my new best friend. So she actually gave me the color codes. You could just say light green uh, to dark blue, or you could say whatever you want to say, and it will actually do this. But Angela, for whatever reason, had a very specific colors in mind. I'm really looking forward to see what this has that
I
comes up
love a
with.
good color brand.
You like a good, okay, good. Capture debt, living expensive payment for rent, auto payments, insurance, credit cards, and other expenses and bills. Capture additional debt like student loans, child support, alimony, court-ordered payments. Capture primary income and secondary income. Calculate debt divided by total income. Highlight anything. Okay, hold on. I can't read anymore, but let's see.
Ask
Okay,
it to
great.
fetch the credit score.
Huh?
Ask it to fetch the credit score.
Okay, well, you can, but again, now you're getting into stuff outside of the computer, and we're going to be getting that APIs next month. API, don't let that scare you again. Application Programming Interface. It's a doorway. Okay, we're going to talk about that in the next session. It's a doorway to connect all these different tools. When you go to Google and you type in a search, you type in Deneen Kearns, Newport Beach, California, it goes through a doorway to actually look through. I'm metaphorically speaking, but it's going through a digital doorway to find out that information. Every single thing you do online goes through an API. So let's just see what's going on here. It's committed. Okay, let me see. Please hold on. I'm going to get you in a second, Angela. Please bring this up on my screen so that I could see it. You know, that's the other thing. It actually controls the screen. This should come up. Be a little embarrassed if it doesn't. Here we go. So there is your debt to income calculator. Were those the colors that you wanted, Angela? I think it's not.
No, that's the colors. It's
Those
actually
were,
pretty perfect.
okay. So now here's the thing it did. Notice it put the Edmund Bogen team. Angela didn't say that. Claude knows who I am. And it also has a certain set of rules that it's actually extracting. Actually, I got to say, Angela, you put up a good thing. Angela, since this was your thing, why don't you give me what's the housing payment?
Let's say 1600,
1600. Very good. What's the auto payments?
600,
600. Great. Insurance?
150,
150. Great. Credit card payments?
150.
150. Okay. Other expenses?
Let's say $100.
100. Okay. So now the living expenses are, oh, I don't know why that did that. Let me just see here. Oops, there. Okay, so we got 2,600 additional debt obligations. What, the student loan, it's monthly. So what's your monthly student loan?
Let's say 100.
Okay. Child support?
Say 50.
50. Okay. Cheap child here. Alimony?
Say $200.
200. Okay. The
No
guy got off,
alimony,
the,
no
the
alimony.
guy got
Forget
off easy.
alimony.
Fuck
And
him,
then
man. Okay. Additional court ordered payments.
nothing. We'll leave that
Nothing. We'll
one
leave
blank.
that blank. Okay. Now, where's your monthly income? What's your primary income is going to be how much?
Let's say 5,500 a month.
5,500
And let's say
and
for secondary, 2,000.
2,000. Okay. So we have all that. Your debt to income ratio is 39.33, healthy within typical lending guidelines. Kind of cool.
I like that.
Kind of cool. So yeah, thank you for the example. What I want you to take from this was just how easy that was. Kind of scary, right? I mean, the deployment, the actual use of these things, you need to learn more. You need to be able to be very, very careful about the mechanics of it. You need to know about the legalities of some of the stuff. For example, you can make an app that will record secretly every one of your conversations. And
Okay.
if in Florida they found out about it, the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Department can come over and
नाश्ता कर लो
arrest you
ब्रेड
for
तो
a
है
second-degree felony, and you
पीनट
could
बटर भी है
spend 6 months to 2 years in prison. So, and that's bad. We
Ooh,
we'd rather avoid that at all costs.
yeah.
Um, So just be careful with what you build. But I want you to start to think
Claude
about the
Code
stuff.
van weg.
Hold on. Whoever's talking,
Het
can you mute
house?
yourself? There we go. What I want you to do is really think through what would be a great tool. I came up with a tool for someone who's moving people to Florida. I came up with a tool for for my own team to utilize. What I'd like you to do is think through how you can utilize this, what you might be able to utilize Claude Code for as a marketing tool. If you start to think like that, you're going to beat out everybody. I have these newsletters now. If you want to hire us, we can make newsletters for you. But we're working with various clients and we're cranking this stuff out. It does take, I mean, I'm showing you the sizzle and all of this. It still takes us several hours to get this done properly. And when it screws up, we've got to fix the darn thing. So just understand that we went through a fairly smooth example of how to utilize Claude Code. Again, this is going to be in the video archive for you to utilize. I want you to use the gamified version that I put out there already. Okay, I want you to sign up for that. The gamified version, again, you could use that as an idea for what you might do with your own teams. If you have something that you're trying to reach out to a client, you could think, how can I actually make a gamified version of my community, of what's going on in Newport Beach, California? Fun facts about Newport Beach, California. I'm leaning in on Deneen here. This is great stuff. People might want it. What to do with kids, you know? And where's Angela? Angela went back to, she brought up the divorce and the settlement and all that other type of stuff. Great stuff. We make money when people get divorced. It's a fact. You got to embrace it. We make money when people die. Don't run from it. It's a part of your business. Probably 20% or 20 to 25% of my business is done with dead people and their families, obviously. But it's one of those things that we actually embrace and move on. With this, we're also going to be showing some other stuff where you could actually mine information from your local taxing authority to find out the divorces, to find out mortgage rates, how much of a home, what might be underwater. I'm now building an app to be able to find um, uh, how many homes in my area have been owned for more than 20 years and have very little money left on the mortgage. Then I'm going to use that data to say statistically how many of these people will move in the next 5 years, according to recent studies. Shot right up 40% in the next 5 years. Now that's a number worth marketing to. So if you could start to do this a little bit uh, strategically, you're going to begin to do this. Again, you were expecting a lot more technically in the Claude Code. The idea behind Claude Code is that you're going to be able to pick it up. You just need to use it. You need to, once it's on the computer, you'll be able to actually muddle through and get the stuff done. But before you do that, I want you to see the possibilities, and it is bloody huge. When will you be sharing this? I'm very interested in how to use or think about with farming. Great, L. Butler. I don't know what your first name is, but or Buller, something. I will get this on the Bogen.ai site shortly. Again, if you guys can, I see Angela, you signed up for the Bogen method for using the Claude Code, the gamified version. I would suggest all of you do that. Let me just see if I have it here again. Okay, here we go. I'm putting this up one last time. I want you guys to open it up and to use it. Now, why? A, you're going to learn something from it. B, you're going to learn something else from it. You're going to see that I'm capturing your information when it's going. We have your information anyway, so don't look at it like a bad thing. But if you could now create the stuff, you've got permission now to get names. If you get names, you're able to do all sorts of stuff. In any case, I'm really grateful. Well, now it's now 12 o'clock. We'll take more questions one-on-one here, and certainly other AI questions. But for those of you who need to get off to your next appointments, please do. And as you have questions, please do open them up. I hope that this was somewhat helpful to you. And I hope that as you build stuff, you share it with me. Again, I work as a coach one-on-one with people. If you're interested in learning about that, I'd love to talk to you. I'm always available for a quick phone call. So if you have an idea or you want to share something, I'd love to hear it from you. All of my topics come from you. Did you know that? I hear from you individually where your pain points are. And if we lived our lives a little bit backwards, we'd live it much better. If you take a look at what the outcome is that you want, you could begin to reverse engineer how to build it. That's what I love about technology, is that you could really make that apparent. And you have to recognize that there are errors that happen in these tools. It's no excuse not to work. This AI will get you 90% there, but you better work the last 10%. Those of you who come to the meeting have heard me say that. Okay, questions before we conclude. Anyone? Ferris Bueller? Ferris Bueller? Anyone see Ferris Bueller's Day Off? Nobody saw Ferris. It was a great film. It was a great film. I ran into Matthew Broderick in New York, and I said, Ferris Bueller, Ferris Bueller. He walked away from me. I guess he got that enough. Oh well. Anyone? Jack? Lisa, I have a meeting with you tomorrow. Okay, great. Yeah, that's the other thing. There is a little thing on mine. If you guys want to take 15 minutes with me, please
Ed,
sign up for that.
probably everybody does that to him, so that's pretty
I'm
annoying.
sure he's probably a little crazed from that, right? I'm sure that kind of gets him.
Overdone.
Overdone. Okay, guys, look, this is going to go up in the archive today, bogan.ai. We will have another meeting sometime early to mid-July on Claude Code again. We're going to be doing something very nerdy every month with all this. We've got 2 meetings next week on Wednesday. Eitan, if you could pull up the topic for me, that would be great. We've got a meeting on Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time or 6 a.m. Deneen time. But we're going to do it again on Friday, Deneen, don't look sad, at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 a.m. for Deneen. Sorry, 9 a.m. for Deneen. So,
Right.
and for all our friends in California, of which we have many. And again, for those in California and especially Deneen, I will be out there. I keep telling you this. I promise lunch is on me. I owe you big time. And for any of you who's out there, I would love, love, love to get together with all of you. Renat, thank you so much. You're awesome as well. And where is it? Eitan, what did you just put up here?
This is a Claude Code Terminal Quick Start on
Okay.
Notion, published.
Okay. So great. So was this ours or was this something you liked?
It's ours.
That's ours. Okay. So Eitan took some time to create the actual visual quick start, which you guys could utilize. You should use the video that we actually put out there and then just do it. Fuck it up. Break it. It's fine. We'll fix it again. If you do it, I will help you. If you come to me and say, God, Ed, I tried everything, it didn't work, I will take the time to meet with you and do it. But it does take that kind of trial and error to make this work out. And you'll find that it's really not that bad. In fact, it's fun and you're able to get a lot of actual work done. Okay, guys. Again, if there's any other questions, please do let me know. Otherwise, we are going to conclude. I hope you enjoyed today. And
I've got one.
Loved it.
thank you. I love
Thank
having you,
you.
Deneen. You're always such a breath of fresh air. And it's great to
Okay.
see Linda again. Linda, tell everyone where you are. I want to give a shout out to Linda.
I'm in Bedford, New Hampshire.
We got New Hampshire here. We had Delaware, we have New Hampshire, we got South Carolina, we got Lisbon, got all these great places. I'm just in love with all this technology. I think it's great because what you're going to find out is the same headache that Linda has and that Deneen has and that Greg has and that Eitan has is the same headache you're going to have because human nature hasn't changed. What we're trying to do is navigate human nature with all of this. And I'm so jazzed up when all of you come to these meetings. I thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you hopefully next week, if not sooner, for another exciting episode of Before I Go. Greg, go ahead. You were killing my end here.
No. You can finish and then stick around. I have a question for you.
Okay. For another exciting episode of Edmund's Mastermind. What do you have, Greg?
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Fable
What
5
happened to
disappeared.
Rain Nation?
Yeah, I don't know. Terry's not here. Terry's been busy, but he's
I
the one that's
tried to
sitting.
take over that, but he didn't like my voice. So,
I,
um,
you know what? Fine. I will have you take that over.
no, I'm good. I'm good. Why did my Fable 5 model disappear from Claude?
It
I
disappeared
had it
entirely.
this morning, but yeah, it's not available to me either in Claude Code or in regular Claude.
Good question. So what Greg was asking is the newest version of Claude, the most advanced AI currently in the world that's publicly available, disappeared for him. You have the $20 a month account?
I do.
Okay. So I don't know if they are now dialing that back. I've got it here. Of course, I've got the more Aton. Do you have Fable 5 still?
I have it. It says included until June 22nd. I don't know what that means. Like June 22nd, they're gonna have me pay more? What's up?
You know what? It's a good thing for all of you to note the CEO of OpenAI recently said in an interview, you're going to need to get used to paying for AI the same way you pay your electric bill. In other words,
Oh,
it's going to become a much more metered kind of service. Here's the good news, despite Deneen's despite that, let me give you the good news. Um, they can't spend enough money on this right now because there's too many free options for people. There's too many cheaper options. By default, for the foreseeable future, you will be getting AI at an absolute bargain price. You will continue to get AI at a bargain price. Why? Because this is starting to replace humans. It's starting to replace people in their jobs. Don't get mad at me. I didn't take away the jobs. This wasn't Ed. The reality is that they cannot spend enough. The way that they're going to make money, if you look at this, that $1 trillion was put into AI. Anyone who just does the math says it's impossible to have a return on that. Here's what they're
I thought
forgetting.
it was 6 trillion.
There's various numbers that are. The point is, it's a lot. It's a huge part of the gross national product at this point. And what people need to realize is that my accountant, he'll probably be retired by then. Hopefully, I hope Frank is okay. I think he'll be fine. But I think anyone coming through right now, the accounting firm that might have needed 50 people will now need 10. It's not going to be the end of all accountants, but it's going to be the end of the lazy ones. It's going to be the end of the people that aren't embracing this. I have a guy who owns a programming. He's a software developer, and I spoke with him. He had 55 developers working with him. He told everyone in a year we're going to reduce this to at the most 20. So if you'd like to move on and find some other career, he did it in a very honorable way, I think. He gave all of them a heads up that the technology is now taking over these positions, and we need you to start using Claude Code and start using these tools. And a couple of them said, no, I'm not going to do it. That was easy. Great, go. You're not going to work here anymore. So he immediately lost 10 people who just didn't want to embrace this. This was a year ago. Spoke to the guy recently. It's down to 15, and he's doubled his work down to 15 people from 55, and he's doubled his work. So
wow,
whatever he's paying for AI, it's no money.
worth it.
You're actually doing that. Again, I don't want to get into the moral side of whether it's right or wrong. It's happening, and it's not me. So if you want to fortify yourself against this stuff, keep coming back to us. We want to keep talking to you.
So
Okay,
can I ask you a question?
sure.
So now on my Claude, I have effort meter, and
Yes.
it's set too high, and it's low, medium, high, extra, and max. What's that about?
So it does exactly that. For simple questions, people feel as though they're getting more now that Fable's out. Well, now that Fable's out, how could Greg not get it? Opus must suck. Well, it doesn't suck. It's still great. It's just not, imagine shooting a rabbit with an elephant gun. Don't mean to be so violent, but you don't need to shoot a rabbit with an elephant gun. You could probably kill it with a BB gun if you were really doing that. That's the comparison that I would give. Two plus two
Okay,
is four.
but the effort matrix is available on all models.
Yes. And depending upon how complex the question is, you could calibrate it to take a lot more time to think through the problem. Most
And
of you don't
does
need,
it use
and you're
more
going to pay for it.
credits?
It's going to cost you more credits. Exactly. It's going to cost you more
So
tokens.
basically, you can control the credits on the
Correct.
model by
Correct.
limiting or extending the effort.
Fable 5, I have a feeling Greg ran out of credits. That's what I'm thinking right now. And that's probably why he's not seeing it.
And it just popped back up. So
Okay.
it's back.
Or his computer's possessed with the devil. I don't know.
Well,
Um,
it keeps telling me that I can't do anything until a certain time. So maybe
yeah.
I just passed one of those timers.
So yeah, well now it's 12 here.
So go to your name on the upper left, on the lower left, and see settings, and then look at usage, and it will tell you what's going on.
Hmm.
Yeah, let me show everybody that. Thank you, Eitan. Here, I'll show it from this other computer. So you could all take a look at usage here. What Eitan was referring to on Claude, for those of you who have Claude, and I hope you do, you click on this, you go to settings, and then over here it says usage. And we could see that for this session, I've only used 2% of my usage. The session resumes in 4 hours and 14 minutes. That's when the next session starts. So theoretically, if I use all of this, it will stop me. I'm also a max user. I pay more than most people, and I've got 20 times the usage of someone who pays $20 a month. My weekly limits are at 18%. So, and they say that this resets on Sunday at 11 a.m. or 10:59 a.m. And it shows you all the other usage. Now, let's say you're in the middle of the world's greatest project and you need it. Well, I've got credits in here. I could put up to $200. I got a $50 monthly spend limit. So I've set that in here. Again, I don't want to get farther than you guys really need to be, because I don't think you're going to be using it that much at this point. But just know that they're playing with the models of how to pay for it. And there's all sorts of ways that we could talk about, and we can mention it in the next meeting.
So within a subscription, it is metered by week and then by 5-hour blocks.
Correct.
Okay.
So, other
Mine
questions?
says I've used 238%.
You what?
Mine says I've used 238% of my usage credits.
Okay.
That's
Exactly what they're talking about at
that
this
means you
point.
need to upgrade.
They're probably going to slap you at some point with, or try to get more money out of you. But when that happens, Greg, especially since we're coaching together, you will tell me about that before that. There's somebody who created caveman talk. Was a brilliant idea that if you go into Claude, sometimes their answers go on for miles, it feels like. So A, most don't want to read that much. Me too. B, it uses a lot of credits to give you long answers. So somebody made a command that says, talk like a caveman. And the caveman is like, too much. Do this, like one or two letter answers, like be almost vague about your answer and just put the please do this in caveman talk, and it will give you a much more concise answer and therefore use a lot less credits. So the more you're using this, there's a tool that I use called Speechify. Speechify dictates the written word to me. And I listen to my books and read them at the same time. So I'm seeing it visually and I'm listening to it as well. And I'll turn it up to 3 times the normal speed. So my wife's like, how do you, I keep hearing, I've learned how to listen to it and I'm able to consume content that much faster. You saw me dictating into a program called Whisperflow. Whisperflow costs, I think, $15 a month. And I could dictate 160 words a minute, whereas if I type about 40 words a minute. So is that worth the $15? Yes, it is. It makes you better. It gets all the stuff out that you need to get out.
How many words have you dictated to it so far?
Good question. Let's see, so far this year, 659,583 words.
Wow.
Don't believe me? Here. Right here.
Oh my gosh.
Right here. So you can see 659,583. And I've had a 232-day streak. As you can see, I never stopped. I've always used this. It talks about where I'm using it the most. So it's kind of neat, right? I mean, it kind of shows, oh, here, I'm 175 words a minute. I'm in the top 0.1%. I use it.
Really? Dude, you're like a top user for that.
Well, I mean, again, it's
They
nothing to
should make
brag
a
about.
commercial about you.
You know me, I never shut the fuck up. So I just keep like talking and this thing keeps going on. That's it. Okay, guys. Chris and Renat's hiding today. I guess he's in the gym. Guys, good to see everybody. This will be up on the archive pretty soon. Deneen, let's meet up again,
Okay. Yeah, I'll call you.
please. I wanted to,
Okay.
I want to talk to you again.
All right.
Okay, great, guys. Good to see everyone. Take care.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you, Ed.